following material may contain sex, coarse language, and violence.
Of course! Of course!
It is Wednesday morning. I suppose everybody at 0500, their terminals make a noise. Who wants to check first?
So we've been taking turns staying awake.
Okay. Well, who was awake?
I will be the one who is awake when the thing goes off.
Yeah, so the terminals go off.
Oh. Beep. Terminal.
So there's, because it's a joint terminal, but it's for two people. There's notifications for. I was about to say Logain Centurius, but that is not correct.
No, I'm Kirtan Lore.
Yeah.
And he is Ermac Wren.
Yeah. It's pal. Oh no.
Gonna get a clubhouse and a secret hand.
Gay!
No girls allowed.
We're having pillow fights before you know it. Yeah, so there's notifications for both of you. Which Logain will see first. Yours is basically like, please report to electrical at 0800.
Electrical.
Sorry, no. Yours will be at IT. Sorry, yours is. It's the same thing. It's just.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, work.
Alrighty. Alright.
We have an hour basically. Well, a Citadel hour, which is actually 100 minutes. So it's to 60.
Much more reasonable.
Yeah.
Well,
Good old metric time.
it's unreadable because I wrote on it in the ink. Leave that over there.
It's necessary. There's a new key.
No key!
Rick Bacon.
Don't blame it on the Nookie.
Every time I have to reprint a map, a copy of Nuki is put on top of the pile. No. And yeah, Teala and Rosa get the same.
I'll get up and have a look.
Why would they get Solo and Logan together?
For their respective departments.
Oh.
Suppose we're gonna find some breakfast there.
Here you go.
Oh. Thanks.
You brought breakfast with us.
Fuck you. Think I'm trusting their food?
Yeah, I was going to read the terminal.
So this has got a report to. You are actually will be asked to report to a Another location.
It's gone too far.
Who made this key so huge?
Well,
Here we go.
22 main reception.
Cool.
that's a good number. 22. It's below the meridian line. Safer.
Whereas Rosa is asked to report to 27, which is the maintenance building.
It's good number 2.
You have a Citadel hour or two. You guys are eating your own food.
To my knowledge, in our apartment, we didn't have food.
Nope. I bought my food.
Yeah,
with
he brought
Yes.
his own.
So we'll go to the cafeteria. Well,
I believe there's a mess.
mess.
No,
Yeah.
50 something?
59, I believe. Just at a glance. No, that's an operations. It's a 55.
Kitchen 54.
55.
55 is a missile.
I'm going to head out early to show initiative.
It's probably a good idea. I might do the same after I limber up a bit. I hate the mornings.
I'm going to head out early.
Okay.
So yeah. Yep, and head to the. Get dressed and head to the yes.
I hope the food's better today than it was last night.
How bad was it last night?
Think it's still tasty.
I'm not going to worry you.
You know, sloppy joes are good when the bread is sloppier than the meat on the inside.
In the Joe.
Yeah.
I didn't think a food worse than FUD could exist.
You're Quarian. You can't tell all your foods are liquidized.
They have a grinding straw.
So Logain obviously was at his destination first because he's Mr.
I'm
Initiative.
bushy-faced and eager-tailed.
And you're the Turian IT guy who was guiding you yesterday. It's like, good, some initiative. That's good to see.
I have a high dexterity, so I tend to roll well on them. I don't want to say that, obviously.
I was supposed to just go quiet. Well, I suppose you could. There's a few computer systems that need looking into. They're not communicating properly with the main servers. Since you're here early, I might as well get you to look at them first.
You got it, Chief. Come back in. Yeah, I need to know where.
Yes, I'm doing a work order up for you now. They're in the processing overseer's offices in
Where's that?
16.
Okay. Any specifics on the problem?
We just know it's not communicating properly with the server. It's not
So there's
backing up
partial
their,
communication.
They didn't back up their data at 0000 last night, like the
Yeah.
rest of the systems, and we have to find out what's going wrong.
Could be a cache overflow. I'll look into it.
Excellent. Here is your orders.
Thank you.
Just show that to any security if you have to go through any restricted areas on the way.
I'll put that in my importance pocket. With my pocket protector. And the pen that is actually just a hollow tube with some of their gas pellets.
Oh, yes, I know the PM. I know that exists,
Yep.
so I don't need...
You wanted to know where it was?
Yeah. Oh, sweet, that's not too far away even.
Main reception.
Right, so I'll head through the main reception way then, I guess. To get there.
You get Because Teala hasn't arrived or nobody else has arrived, they've got one of their... Actually, they would have Teala's boss would be manning the desk up until now, so... Excuse me, have you got orders?
Yes, I do, ma'am. Right here.
Yes, that checks out. Thank you.
Yes, of course. Right, just through there, right?
Of course.
Yes, thank you. The more exploitable I seem, the better. Oh, hey, Dim. What does this place look like? Bestial.
Well, there's a Turian with a hard hat, a hard sausage hat.
I know, with the plate that goes over the spine. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And he basically greets you as he opens the door for you.
Kurtan Lore, best tech on the station.
Yes, come on in. I don't know exactly what's going on here at the terminals here. I was just told by IT that they didn't update with yesterday's information, so we have no records as to what happened.
I will go
Uploaded to the cloud.
Okay, let me have a look at it. What's your problem?
So I'm going to go get something to eat.
What is this again? Is it processing something or other?
Processing Overseer's office.
Okay. I want to go through a best practices checklist of diagnosing the problem.
Okay.
Which I am not existing in the Mass Effect universe, do not specifically know, but my character would.
Yeah. Would you just be...
Right, I don't roll those in there. That's why.
It's just electronics for this. It's because what the others are hacking and damping, I believe. That's
Yeah, I only get 27.
Yeah. Yeah, okay, so you basically run through a bunch of checklists. There seems to be a problem with the network, basically the outgoing network. So it hasn't been, it's not just this information, it hasn't been sending pretty much anything. It's only been taking incoming packets, but not sending outgoing packets.
Okay, so have I gone through a complete software diagnosis and think I need to look at the hardware for a fault?
You think a hard... firstly, I suppose you think checking the network settings would be the first place to go. It might have reset to default
Yeah, I'll do that.
instead of going through the proper...
Naturally, my
lines.
boss has given me a series of their settings and everything on my tool, so I know what's correct.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll check that there. Do you want another roll?
No, that's pretty simple. Simple stuff. So, no, that appears to be correct. So, it's not
Hardware.
that. Well, I could also, you could also try doing a hard reset of the whole thing in case.
Would I potentially lose any data?
It stores the data locally still on its own hard drive, essentially, or future hard drive.
Yes,
so.
but do I think doing a hard reset would tell the system that it's reinitialized in a jobless state and it might purge that data being superfluous?
You'd have to do another check on the system to see if that's what it... That's the type of system that's set up.
26.
It won't purge the data, but it does mean you'll have to do a manual...
Sorry, 24.
Yeah, you'll have to do a two-stage manual re-upload of the missing data. So you'll have to initiate it at this end and either initiate it at the other end or call somebody else through to initiate it at the other end as well.
So that sounds like it's slightly more involved than opening a panel and looking at the physical hardware to see if there's any obvious damage. So I'll do that stage first, and then if everything's kosher on their networking thing, then I'll do that suggested thing you see.
Okay. Well, you're doing that, so it'll take a little while. What's Rosa doing? I'll just jump into you randomly.
We went to have breakfast, so I assume we're still...
Until...
Ah, delicious Orcon's nutrient paste.
Yeah.
So, about all we can do is while she's eating, she's just trying to have a look at the breakdown of who's turning up in the mess hall at this time and things like that. The trying to spot cliques and groups and.
Oh yeah. You don't even really need to make a spot check. Most of the people who are filtering through seem to be, at the moment, like labourers of various descriptions so far. So, not builders, but more the actual workers. So you don't see much in the way of the builders that you saw when you came in. But yeah.
Looks like all the cheap labour gets early wake-up call. Sorry. Just an observation.
True though. Right.
If she's going to cheap labour, then she may obviously missed out on the cheap abortion. Wait, well, does Sari even have those?
Have what?
Because they can't get pregnant unless they want to.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't have such a thing as abortion.
Not really, no. I mean, I suppose they could have pregnancy regret at some point. I don't know. But
Or there could be some kind of drug that forces them to be receptive. I don't know. Batarians are weird.
Suing Batarians are responsible immediately.
Yes.
It's evil, Batarian.
Yeah, Batarians is like the only reason that the humans aren't the worst scum in the galaxy.
It's because Batarians.
Speaking of Batarians, suddenly a Batarian from a few seats down leans over and goes, "Hey, you human!
Who, me?
You see any other humans around here?"
Nope.
You know, and he gets up out of the chair and starts slowly walking towards. You know, there's something about you humans that's been bothering me for a while now since you came and joined our little galactic community.
No.
And I think it's about time that you gave me some answers. Sunbathing. How do you do that? Isn't that?
I knew it was going to be something dumb.
Wouldn't that really hurt to bathe in the sun? Are you guys tougher than you look? How does that work?
Ideally naked. You want the sun to caress you all over.
Doesn't that? How do you stop getting burned?
Well, if you stay out too long.
But
Lotion.
bathing in the sun, right?
Glad I could help with your questions.
I have more questions.
I thought Krogans and Turians were tough, but he just scratches his head and wanders.
No
back
wonder
where
they're
he was
stealing
sitting.
all our worlds. That are totally ours, even though we haven't even sent a probe to them.
No, but we were gonna look.
Look, we got a map and we were like, yeah, we'll have that.
Yeah, we're just really getting there. Where she was like, nom 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 nom.
Yeah. Because like everyone else does this procedural thing. Where it's like we are in this area and we're spreading out. Humans are just like, no, we're over here, we're over here, we're over here.
We put things in
The
place
intervening
that we
space
want.
all sucks. Why would we want that?
And what's Salo doing then?
Finish up my morning stretches. Get in all them little electrical pathways. Polish my visor up and get in half an hour early as opposed to a full hour early.
That way you don't look like a suck up. Like Logain.
Let's get you, sack up. No. So yeah, you meet with your bosses there. There's
Chief?
no one else at electrical at the moment. Ah, yes, I remember you. You gave me the answers I wanted yesterday.
Of course.
Excellent, excellent. I want you to do some electrical diagnostics since you're here early. You might as well get the easy job.
Perfect.
The medical bay has been showing some slight fluctuations.
No, they actually do weigh that much.
If you could look into that,
Sure, no
just
problem.
write you up a job order.
Of course.
This is interesting. They both have to use an external computer to do job orders, which means when they're not around it,
We can.
we could put poop emojis.
And you
I'm the office
your
rebel.
job on it.
Give it a quick look over.
Fuck the job. I was trying to have
And
some fun.
here's some tools.
You
can basically
immerse
do
in
a
your
tool
character
belt,
too much.
Some electrical.
Oh, perfect. I won't have to fabricate as much on the spot. Anything I should know about medical?
Definitely at least check with the medical facility people that if you need to shut down any systems in order to check them, make sure they don't have somebody hooked up to life support or something important.
Of course, it would be a bit of an awkward mistake.
You might want to switch to auxiliary if possible, just in case. Don't want to cause any fluctuations if they're doing something important.
I found some fluctuations in this monitor. Here, let me just... There we go. Nice straight line fixed. Yeah, pleasing.
I'll get on it, Chief.
Excellent, excellent. I like your gumption.
Of course.
Oh, you got a gumption?
Oh.
I asked him for a gumption. He wouldn't let me have one. He said Logain's already got tall. Doesn't need a gumption as well.
And I will quickly wander off to medical.
Okay, you'll probably be done with your...
Yep. My inspection of the hardware.
Yeah. Well, software still, I guess, but yeah.
28.
If you've been going, you'll eventually run out of the software options. You'll open it up. Assuming you're going to open it up after, and you find that something seems to have gotten the back, and from what you can tell, chewed away at one of the.
See, if I'd have done that hard reset, that's a bunch of wasted time. You always do the simplest things first before you go. It must be this, and charge it. You're an electrician.
Yep.
You go through the best practices list.
Something's crawled in one of the internal vents. It's normally just to let air into to keep it cool, but it's something's crawled in there that's small and looks like it's chewed away at one of the network cables.
Okay, I'll take an image of that. I'll check the cable for its specification number. I'll send a requisition for that particular replacement cable, so that I will get permission to go and get one. Then I will use my fabricator to fabricate a simple trap for something that size and place it near there with some delicious big on it. And I recover those tech points because I'm not in combat. I can't recover the big points though. Not the whole big, just like a bit of big to put on the trap.
A little big.
Yeah, a small amount of big. And then I will make a copy of that trap and use the other kind of big, Levo, just in case, although the smell should be enticing to anything, I just want to make sure that...
if it's a picky rodent.
Well, they can learn about it.
Okay. You get
And then
within
install...
a minute you get a response back that because you sent the photo and the cable numbers, you get an approved, like that has been approved.
Okay, cool. And then I'll just leave myself a backdoor into the system that's undetectable and head on.
You have to roll for that one.
That's how we roll.
Yeah, critically.
Fine.
Is that a 2?
But it's not much better.
That's a 3. What am I rolling here? Oh, they're all the same number, so it doesn't matter.
It would be hacking in this case, I believe.
Yep, cool. Cool.
Like 22.
Where decryption ends and hacking starts.
It's a 22. Fuck! Because when I discovered that we've been doing it wrong and I can actually get up to 19, why would I not do that? I have to do this now. But now the good news is I only spend 4 points maintaining this forever, which is still almost half of my loadout. Will you do some good deeds? You need that Paragon point.
I'm trying.
I know. I'm about to murder a helpless rodent. You could save it from this noxious trap.
Yeah, but it's something I'll do.
The poor little thing.
I see what you're saying. Yeah,
So you basically have to do is go and get the replacement cable
from...
back at the server. Well, it says server room, but it's basically the IT
Okay.
depot.
I'll head back there. I'll get the thing. I'll go back to where I'm doing.
By the time you've done that, it'll be time for you to
Oh.
have...
If it's been an hour, I'll log in.
Oh.
This is to establish that I'm often doing unpaid work and am supposed to be in these areas unpaid. That way, when someone's like, well, you're not even clocked in, I'd be like, I have a habit of doing this because I love this place so much, it's the future. It's like if I worked for Elon Musk, I'd put in so much free overtime.
Just to hang out.
Yeah. Also because I like working on something like SpaceX or Tesla or Bitcoin.
Just got to complete your route.
It's like, what else?
So
Work for the Nerd
you're
King.
sent to
Main reception.
main reception. And Rosa is sent to, well, not sent to, but you've basically got your location to go to as well. Who's actually, I don't know who would arrive there first. Basically, based on the distance.
Well, the distance between the server place and where I'm working is incredibly minuscule.
No, I mean between these two.
Where are you at? 20. Sharon? What room are you at?
I don't know.
You're going to maintenance, which is 27.
It's sort of 50-50, probably hit just.
We'll do Teala first, anyway. Then you meet with the same Asari who you met with the previous day.
Good morning.
Good morning. You're here to basically man the desk for the first half of the day.
Yes.
I need to go over some things with you. First of all, she turns around and picks up a bundle from the desk behind her and hands it to you. This is your uniform.
Thank you.
I hate that term. So,
Mundane.
common. There's a changing room through there, but you can change after I've gone over everything else. There's a few people you should be aware of who get to go through, and she'll hand you a data pad with images on it too. These are people you don't need to stop. Everyone else will need some kind of authorization, but these people can just go on right on through. Do not bother them. Feel free to offer them a friendly greeting and smile and everything as they go through. The first of course is our boss, Sokath Farn. He's the Turian who gave the speech at the end of the day. He is usually accompanied by 2 bodyguards, a Batarian and a Turian. The Batarian's name is Varkarth, and Dalinus is the Turian. Then there's our Chief of Security, Laren Nalatus. She's points to the female Turian on your data pad in the uniform. In the clearly security uniform. And then there's our big executives. There's Kalen Pop. He's a Volus representative of Elkos Combine here on Triton 3. Fovina Itrani, Asari representative of Biodyne Industries. Basak Eto. Do you need the spelling of that one?
I know I won't get it. I haven't got half the names down, so I keep trying to write them, but because they're so obscure, I can't. There's no way I'll do it. So
Just write down what it sounds like.
I have, and the problem is I can't. So I'm not worrying about it.
Batarian from Data and Manufacturing. And Certus Fendris, Turian rep from Ethic and Employment Services. There is also a Lysithi Salarian who should not be stopped as well, named Zunaral. He is on the last page here. He stands out because he's bigger than most Salarians.
And also you probably couldn't stop him if you tried. God, we never even met a single one of those in the games, did we?
No?
God, they built them
There
up
was
so
one
much.
in one of the comics,
Yeah.
but that was it. He is here looking for a suspected infiltrator above the station and should not be interred in any way.
That'd be great.
If he asks you any questions, answer them as to your best ability.
I understand, yes.
I think that about covers it. Just make sure to check for work orders and IDs for anybody who comes in. I leave it to you.
I'll get changed.
Yes, you wait at the desk until you
Yeah.
come back out and then...
Come out and I'll stand until she vacates the seat. Then
Yeah, she vacates the seat and...
I'll sit down and log in.
It's so tight around the chest.
Yeah, there's a little bit. But it's deliberately sort of low cut as well, because they're...
Oh, the pin down there. What, you dropped it again.
Yeah, it's my lucky pen. Could you get it?
$50.
Can use 50 credits.
Rosa meets up with her Volus driving foreman, basically. He's standing beside a big load lift, well, not a load lifter, like a carrier.
These make
Transport.
me feel like a big man.
Oh good, you're here. I have some equipment for you to deliver. It's very important that it gets there safely. I need you to take this to primary crushing.
And I assume we have the ability to pull up a map to see the route that we take to get there.
You all got the maps on your...
Okay, eminently doable. How long should this run take? You don't want... What kind of speed are we aiming for here? I know it's safe. We have to do it safe, but...
40-kilometer limit.
Why? You should might as well walk him down there.
There's a lot of people around. We mustn't bump into them. It's unsafe.